Standard 8 Maths Chapter 13 Direct and Inverse Proportion. Hello everyone. In this chapter we'll be looking what are direct and indirect variation proportions and how we are going to solve questions based on this concept. So now what is direct and indirect variation? First we have to learn this. Suppose you have 100 rupees with you. Okay, you have 100 rupees with you. This is amount of money. Wait, this is money. You have 100 rupees. Okay, now suppose you are purchasing some sort of stationery. Say you are purchasing pens. These are number of pens. Okay, these are number of pens. Now with 100 rupees you can buy 10 pens or 10 articles or whatever stationery articles you are purchasing. Now see, you have 100 rupees, you can buy 10 articles. So what is the cost of one article? It will be 100 divided by 10, that is 10 rupees. Yeah, means each article will cost 10 rupees. Now suppose if you have 200 rupees. So how many articles you can purchase now? Obviously you can purchase 20 articles because cost of one article was 10 and you have 200 rupees. So how many articles you will purchase? You will purchase 20 articles. Similarly, when you have 300 rupees, you can buy 30 articles. When you have 400 rupees, you can buy 40 articles. So what are you observing in this? When the amount of money is increasing, when the amount of money which you have is increasing, the number of articles are also increasing. Okay, when 100 you can buy 10, when you have 200 you can buy 20, when you have 300 you can buy 30, when you have 400 you can buy 40 articles. So there is a direct variation. This is called direct variation. When money is increasing, when one parameter is increasing, then other parameters are also increasing. This is called direct variation. Okay, so we can also say uh, number of pens is directly proportional to amount of money. Okay, number of pens is directly proportional to amount of money. The number of pens which we can purchase will depend on amount of money. More money we have, more number of pens or more number of articles we can purchase. So this is a sign of direct variation. Clear? So what happens in direct variation? When the value of one parameter increases, then the value of another parameter which is dependent on first variable will also increase. Suppose this is just a generalized example. Now if we are considering, suppose there is a variable x, clear, and there is a variable y. If we are increasing x, then y will also increase. That means x is directly proportional to y. Okay, when y is increasing, x is also increasing. That means x is directly proportional to y, and this is the sign of variation. Now x is directly proportional to y. So in order to solve, we need to remove this sign of direct variation. Okay. So by removing this, we can put a constant. We can put a constant. K is constant. Y is the one of the parameter which we have chosen. So what it indicates? X is on after removing this variation direct variation sign, we can put a constant where k is constant. Value of k will never change. What it indicates, if we bring this y to this side, it will become x upon y is equals to k, or we can say it is constant. What does it mean? Now in direct variation, ratio of two parameters or two things which we have taken will always remain same. It will not change, and on this basis we will calculate the question. So we can also say if there are two things x1 and y1, it will become x2 and equals to x2 and y2, which will become k, or which is constant. So these ratio will never be changed. So this is the direct proportion. Now see, we'll take one more example. Suppose there is a car, its speed is 20 km per hour. Speed of car is constant. We are not changing the speed. Speed is constant. Okay. Now we have to go to one city. Suppose when first we are going from A to B. Okay, then B to C, or we are moving. We are changing the distance. Now we will see what is the ratio between distance and time by keeping the speed constant. Now there is first we are taking distance and we are taking time. Speed of the car we have kept constant, that is 20 km per hour. Now when we have to cover this, we can take as x and y. Clear? We can assume distance as x and time as y. Now suppose we have to cover 100 km. Distance is always in kilometer and time we are taking in hour. Okay, since we have taken the speed in kilometer per hour. Suppose we have to cover 100 km and the speed is 20 km. What you will have learned in previous classes, speed is always equal to distance upon time. So, or in case, since we have to calculate this time, what will be time? Time will equal to distance upon speed. Now, distance is 100 km, speed is 20 km. What will be the time? It is 100 upon 20. It means that we, in order to this cover 100 km, we need 5 hours. Clear this thing? Now, suppose we are increasing our distance. Now we have to cover 200 km. We have to cover 200 km. So what is the time required? That is 200 upon 20, because this is distance, this is speed, and time is distance upon speed. It will take 10 hours. Clear? Suppose we have to convert, we have to cover 300 kilometers. So what will be the time? 300 upon 20, it will become 15. We will need 15 hours in order to cover 300 kilometers. Suppose we have to cover 400 kilometers. So what will be the time required? That is 400 upon, and we need 20 hours. So this is the basic chart. Now what we have to see, as I told you, in case of direct variation or direct proportion, this ratio x1 y1 equals to x2 y2, and it will not change. This ratio will not change. Now see, these are x and these are y, and these are the corresponding values of x and these are the corresponding values of y. We can take it as x1, we can take it as x2, we can take it as x3, and this is x4. This will be corresponding to x1, this is y1, corresponding to x2 is y2, corresponding to x3 it will be y3, and corresponding to x4 it will be y4. Now we have to check whether their ratio are equal or not. What it was, x1 upon y1, that is 100 upon 5. This is our x1 upon y1. It was what? 20 upon 1. Clear? Now x2 upon y2. This is 200 upon 10. It is coming again 20 is to 1. Now if we see x3 upon y3. This is 300 upon 15. It is again come out to be 20 is to 1. Clear? And if we see x4 upon y4, it is 400 upon 20, that against come out to be 20 upon 1. Now you see in every case this is x1 upon y1, ratio is 20 is to 1. In case of x2 upon y2, ratio is 20 is to 1. In case of x3 upon y3, ratio is 20 is to 1. And in case of x4 upon y4, is ratio is 20 is to 1. So it is clear that in case of direct proportion, the ratio of two quantity will never change. So this is all about direct proportion. Now we will deal with some sort example of exercise so that the concept will become more clear to you. Now we will see some example, page number 204, example 1. Now we will apply this concept of direct proportion to the questions. Now how we are going to solve. Now this is example 1. That is the cost of 5 meters of a particular quality of cloth is rupees 210. Now we have to tabulate the cost of 2, 4, 10 and 15 meters of same type. Now there are two things, that is length of cloth and rupees or the cost. Now what it is, we have, this is example 1, page 204 of NCERT. Now we have length of cloth and we can take it as x, and cost we can take it as y. Now we have to tabulate, okay. So we can make a table. Here we have length. I am simply writing length, that is denoted by x, and we have cost, that is y. Now one value of 5 meter cloth is given, that is length is in meter and cost is in rupees. So 5 meter of cloth cost rupees 210, and we have to calculate the cost of 2 meter, 4 meter, 10 meter and 13 meter. Clear? So what we have studied in direct proportion, that is x1 upon y1 will be equal to x2, and these are the corresponding values of x1, this is x2, this is x3 and this is x4, this is x5, okay. And these are the corresponding value of y, that is y1, like y2, y3, y4, y5. Now what I have said, that is x1 upon y1 will always be equal to x2 upon y2, that will be equal to, I mean this ratio will remain same. So we will calculate x1 upon y1, which value for which the value has been given in the question. x1 upon y1 will be 5 upon 210, that comes out to be 1 upon 42. Means this ratio will be equal to this x2 upon y2, and this will equal to this and this and this. Means this ratio will remain constant, that is 1 upon 42 or 1 is to 42. Now we can calculate from this. We have to calculate y2 first. We have to calculate y2, means we have to calculate the cost of 2 meters of cloth, that is x2 upon y2, and ratio it was 1 upon 42. We can put this ratio as 1 upon 42, 1 upon 42. Now we have value of x2, which is equal to 2 upon y2. Y2 have to calculate, that is the cost of 2 meter of cloth, and this is 1 upon 42. This will remain same. Now if we take this y2 that side, it will become y2, and we can do the cross multiplication. It's simple, 2 into 42. 2 into 42 will be 84. That means value of y2 is 84. That means cost of 2 meter of cloth is for 84. We can put write 84 here. Clear? Now similarly, next thing, that is x3 upon y3 equals to 1 upon 42. Since ratio is same, now x3 we have 4 and y3 we have to calculate. It will be equal to 1 upon 42. Okay, so y3 equals to 4 into 42. 42. Similarly, it will become 168. The cost of 4 meter of cloth will be 168. I think it is clear to you. Now we can calculate cost of 10 meters, that is x4 upon y4. It is again equal to 1 upon 42. So x4 is 10, that is 10 meters, and y4 is equal to 1 upon 42. Therefore y4 will be 10 into 42, it becomes 420. That what it means, that is cost of 10 meter of cloth is 420 rupees. Now similarly we can calculate the last part, that is x5 upon y5 equals to 1 upon 42. We have to keep this ratio constant. We have to put this thing equal. So it will become x5 is 13 and y5 we have to calculate. This is equal to 1 upon 42 by doing cross multiplication. Y5 equals to 13 is to 42. It comes out to be 26 and 546. Yes, yes, it is 546. The cost of 13 meter cloth will be 546 rupees. So I hope this is clear how you are going to solve the questions. Now next example, that is example number 2. We have it is page number 205. An electric pole 14 meter high cast a shadow 10 meters. Find the length of height of a tree that will cast a shadow 15 meter under similar condition. Now there are two things. One is electric pole or height of electric pole, and second thing is length of the shadow. So example 2, we have two things. Height of electric pole, it is given in meters, and second thing is length of shadow, it is also given in meters. Now this we can take x and this we can take y. Clear? Now first case is when the height of electric pole is 14 meters, that is first case 14 meters, it casts a shadow of 10 meters. The value of length of shadow is 10 meters. Now find the height of a tree which will cast a shadow of 15 meters. Now what we have, what is given in the question? Length of shadow is given 15, and we have been asked what will be the length of electric pole or length of a tree that under similar conditions. Okay, so we have to calculate this. Now corresponding to x, it can be taken as x1. If you have to tabulate, we have to make it in a tabular form. It will be like this. So it will be very easy. Corresponding to this x, this is x1 and this is x2, and corresponding to y, this is y1 and y2. What we have been told, that is x1 upon x2 will always be equal to, sorry, x1 upon y1 will always be equal to x2 upon y2. Now what is x1? This is 14 upon 10. We have x2, we have to calculate the length of tree, we have to calculate, or height of tree we have to calculate, that is x2 we have to calculate, and this is 15. Now when we do the cross multiplication, what it becomes, x2 into 10 is equal to 14 into 15. Now x2 will be equal to 14 into 5, 15 upon 10. Now we can cancel out 2 sevens are 40, 2 fives are 10, and 5 ones are 5, 5 threes are 15. X is equal to 7 into 3, that is 21 meter. So the value of x2 is 21 meter. That means the length of tree which will cast a shadow of 15 meter is 21 meter. That means a 21 meter long tree will cast a shadow of 15 meters. Clear? So I hope with this, what is direct proportion and how we are going to apply this will be clear to you. We'll be taking up a few more example in our next video. Thank you.